So for these equations today, there are letters on both sides of the equal sign. So our goal is still to get that letter alone, but to get it to alone, we have to choose a side to get it to. So we have to get that variable on one of the sides of the equal sign. Technically, it doesn't matter which side we get it to. We just need to get it alone. So as we're going through these, there's going to be lots of different ways you could solve them. In the end, you should get down to the same answer as everyone else, though. So let's start with our first problem here. We're going to approach it like we do the rest of them. So I'm looking for distribution. I'm looking for like terms. So I see here that on my right side, I have a 12a and a minus 3a. Now on my other side, on the left side, I do have a 4a. However, I can't combine it because it's not on the same side of the equal sign. I'll show you what we're going to do with that next. So I'm going to just leave 15 plus 4a equals, and then my 12a and then the minus 3a will become 4a and then minus 5. Sorry, not 4. 9a minus 5. So now I want to get my variable to one side. So I can't just combine these and say that 9a plus 4a is 12a and just stick that somewhere. I have to move it over like I do with other things, like when I was moving just the regular numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the 4a from both sides to get it to the other side so that I'm working to get it alone. So what that'll do is cause these ones to cancel. Then I have 15 left here equals 5a minus 5. Now I still want to work to get that alone, so now I need to add 5 to both sides. So I get 20 equals 5a. Now I'm down to my last step where I have to divide by whatever's in front of that letter. And so I will get that 4 is equal to a, or a equals 4. And as we're filling these out, I'm going to have us fill in this little chart here. So we're going to look at what we get and what it means, because on our next ones, we're going to get some different kinds of answers that we haven't seen before. So my first one, I got that a was 4. So what does that mean? It just means that a is 4. And how many solutions do I have here? I just have one. A is 4, and that's it. Okay, our next one, we do have some distribution, so I'm going to work on that first. So my left side will stay 4x plus 5, and then after I distribute this, I'm going to get 4x plus 5 on that side. Now right now, you might notice that, hold on, that should be 10. 4x plus 10. So right now, you might notice that we have a 4x on both sides. So if I were to try to move one of them, they're going to technically go away. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to subtract the 4x. And this is going to cancel, and this is going to cancel. And that leaves me with 5 equals 10. Does 5 equal 10? No. So if we get a false statement, we get something that's not true, this is what we call no solution. So over here, I got 5 equals 10. And this means that no number will work. It means there isn't going to be an answer. And the number of solutions is 0 or none. There just isn't anything that could make this true. All right, going down to my next one, I do have distribution and like terms. So I have a 10x and a minus 4x I have to deal with, and I also have a distribution over here. So 10 minus 4 would give me 6x minus 15 equals, and now I'm going to distribute. I'm going to get 6x minus 15. So I do have the same thing on both sides. I'm going to try to get that variable to one side though. So I'm going to minus the 6x. And then it does happen to cancel both of these. And I get negative 15 equals negative 15. Now, does negative 15 equal negative 15? Yes. So we call this infinite solutions, meaning that anything can work. So you can put the infinity symbol, or you can write infinite. So in my box, I got negative 15 equals negative 15. So this means that any real number will work. And we just say real number because we're not dealing with anything like irrational or anything like that here. And then the number of solutions is infinite. So basically that means I could put any positive, negative number fraction in there, and it will make the statement true. Okay, now we're going to try some more. So on this one, I have some like terms. I'll highlight those. 2b plus b, remember there is an invisible 1 there, so this is going to become 3b plus 7 equals 8b plus 2. And now my goal is to get that letter to one side. So there are technically multiple ways you could go about this. I could subtract the 8b and move that over here, or I could subtract the 3b and move it over here. In the end, you should get to the same answer though. I'm going to go ahead and just subtract the 3b. So I get 7 equals 5b plus 2. And now I still want to get that 5b alone, so I'm going to minus my 2. And I get 5 equals 5b. Divide by the number in front of the letter. And I get that b is 1. All right, on my next one, the first thing I have to deal with is that distribution. So I have 6x minus 6. This stays the same on that side. 3/4 times 4 will give me 3, so 3x. And then 3/4 times 8 is 6, so then plus 6. Now this time, let's move from the other side. So let's move the 3x that's on the right instead. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides, so this time it cancels over here. And I'm left with 3x minus 6 equals 6. Now I'm going to add the 6 over, so that way I'm getting my 3x alone. And I get 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3, so x is 4. And then there's some space down here again for you to write anything you need to write to yourself, because there are a lot of steps, a lot of things to pay attention to in here. So you could maybe remind yourself to get the letter to one side first, remind yourself to check for distribution. If you make a true statement, then it's infinite. If you make a false statement, it's no solution. Just anything like that that you think that you might forget. So if you're studying for the test later, you can come back, look here, and kind of refresh yourself on the most important things to remember.